How's it going, guys? We're going to be kicking the new year off with some Jakey Lee licks. Just over the holiday period, I put out a suggestion box on my Instagram story asking what would you like me to teach in this coming year, and you guys certainly answered. It was all Ozzy Osbourne and Van Halen stuff, and rather than just go down the path of here is a lick or a passage from a solo, now go do with it what you will, I'm going to be teaching you the solo as it stands, or in this case the ending runs to the Bark at the Moon solo, and then how it will present you with transferable skills you can apply to your own playing, but also how you can apply what you're left with rather than just the run. What can you do with the notes that we've picked our way through, and also how can you alter things to make them seem more like your own lick, or if you like, stealing a lick and making it your own, so to speak. If you guys have any other suggestions as to what you'd like me to teach in this coming year, please make sure you list them in the comments below. To follow along, you need to be tuned to standard tuning. Here are the runs at full speed, then I'll break them down. Just before we get into the meat and potatoes of the pattern that will help you improve your syncopation no end, firstly we're going to look at the scales we're going to be applying it to. So just to start everything off, I'm on the low E, 5th fret. Watch closely, here we go. Then what Jake does is he goes up the same scale again, just in a different shape. So you've got... Then your last one before the pattern changes is this one. That last one arguably is the easiest because you've got 3 strings in a row, which are the same fret numbers, 8, 10 and 12 there. Right, with the pattern, this is what you've got. You're starting off on the 6th fret here of the low E and following this pattern. I'm going to play it through really slow and then break it up into chunks so you can see how it fits together. So... Next position. Last one. Then once you start to apply speed to this idea, make sure you're picking gently, muting the strings a little bit so that you can apply a little bit of separation and attack to each of those notes. And what's beautiful about these particular collections of runs is that you have to use all of your fingers. So if anyone complains that you'd never use your little finger, this is a chance to prove them wrong. Okay, they're really cool patterns to work on. And what I advise doing as well is, if you want to make this lick more of your own rather than being trapped in the Bark at the Moon scale positions, is applying it to not only different keys, but also different patterns and different shapes. My personal preference would be to apply it to something like a linear scale, I should say, where you would take the same shape and jump octaves, like the Paul Gilbert approach. So you might have... a scale like that, for instance. It's a really cool idea right there. You can do the same thing just in a different key. Let's go to, I don't know, B minor or something. So that's one way you can immediately break out of learning the Bark at the Moon pattern and then funneling it into your own playing. The other thing you can do is you can start to manipulate the last run. So just to break down as it would be in Bark at the Moon, I'm going to bolt it onto the end of the last scale run. So you've got... Here we go. Okay, now you'll notice there from my slow version of it, I'm picking every note just so you can see how everything gets broken down and fits together. When I'm playing this quick, I apply a different idea. What I'll end up doing is just to isolate the pattern on one shape here. What you've got is... And what I'm doing here is I'm keeping movement in my wrist as little as possible, trying to be as minimal with my movement as I can be. And when I'm picking is I get to that 13th fret on the high E, I'll end on an upstroke there, pull off to the 12th and then pull off to the 10th, alternate pick the notes on the B string, so we down, up, down. And then now that I'm on that 10th fret there, I've already picked it. So if I'm going to go back up the way I came, I'll hammer on to the 11th fret there, then I'll hammer on to the 13th fret there, and then alternate pick the notes on the high E. So the whole thing in its entirety, pay attention to both. I'm going to play it a few times. Now, here's the thing, when addressing hand syncopation there, when applying good hand syncopation, it doesn't mean you have to be picking all of the time. It's picking when you need to, because your syncopation is judged by how well you can tell your hands what to do, in my opinion. And what you would do here is make sure that the first note on each string, when you're picking, is met at exactly the right time when you need it. So it'd be a case of... that note has to be correct. And then when you're going back up, that note has to be correct, and so on. But to keep going with Bark at the Moon here, what you would then do is once you've got to the top of one position, you'd slide up to the following position and apply the same pattern. And then your last note there, if you're wanting to follow the studio recording, would be the 17th fret on the high E. If you want to follow the live version, apply exactly the same thing, but you almost have to duck out at the last minute on that last shape. So you've got that... you sort of... you almost get to the bottom of the B string, that go back into the main riff. That would be the way you would break that down. What I recommend doing with this pattern here, going up and down, applying this picking shape, is try out different fingerings and different shapes. It sounds really good if you want to apply it to a sort of like a Van Halen style thing, where in this case I'm playing in the key of D minor now. Sorry. You might have 10, 13, and 17. Do the same thing on the B and high E. So well worth giving that a shot. You can also do the same thing if you want to do some string skipping. Take a... Really good for your hand syncopation again. There you go, have some fun with that. Thanks a lot for watching the video. Please make sure you like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. If you have any further ideas as to what you'd like me to teach, please list it in the comments below. I'll take a look, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Thank you.